In this book, I argue that India has much to think about in the coming years. Most immediately, the Belt and Road poses an economic challenge. The same reasons that push China into playing a greater global role. I investigate them in detail in this book. Explain why India may find itself increasingly constrained by the Belt and Road. Access to commodities and energy sources, control over significant markets, and the need to organize highly competitive and cross-border value chains. In all these cases, China is gaining the upper hand. Wherever the West has been retreating, China has quickly moved in. The question is, of course, whether there will be any space left for India. How will the Indian economy be able to move up into higher value segments of global value chains if it turns around and sees many of its fast-growing neighbors already incorporated into a China-led economic network? An enforced return to India's period of economic autarky haunts its future development. By investing in the Iranian port of Chabahar, India may hope to prevent an outcome where it finds itself isolated from the growing economies on its doorstep. But the limited scale of the project offers a vivid contrast to the mammoth scale of the Belt and Road. As opposed to Chabahar, the Chinese-led initiative is designed to fundamentally change global networks and move China to the center of a new political and economic order. It seems unlikely that 2 or 3 infrastructure projects can offer an adequate response to India's side. Nor is the issue strictly confined to economic power and rivalry. For many commentators in South and Southeast Asia, the Belt and Road is an opportunity for China to entrench its naval presence in the Indian Ocean. As its state-owned companies build dual-use ports that berth its cargo ships and military vessels, and open its first overseas bases in places such as Djibouti and perhaps Pakistan and Sri Lanka. In a world where China and the United States will compete for control over key technologies, India risks becoming the market where the outcome of that battle will be a large measure decided, but no more than that. A territory rather than an actor. With its population soon to overcome that of China and boosting an expanding middle class, India will be a coveted market for Chinese and American companies. Can it leverage that prize into political and economic influence? And if so, how should this influence be exercised? An awareness of how the United States and China both need India to realize their plans may well explain why Indian decision-makers prefer to dither and delay rather than provide clear guidance as to their role in the great game. Much can be gained by negotiating with both sides at once. But the hesitation is also connected to genuine strategic alienation. It is difficult to think that India could feel at home in the Chinese world order described in this book. But has it ever felt part of the Western order as it was understood for the past 7 decades? Hardly. This order, at its apex, coincided with India's years in the wilderness. It is not surprising, then, that many in Delhi regard the Belt and Road more as an opportunity than a threat. Here is how the argument goes. While in a Western-led order, India cannot expect to enjoy more than a secondary role, China's rise offers the exciting possibility of a genuinely multipolar, rather than merely multilateral, world where India can legitimately expect to become an autonomous center of geopolitical power. In this scenario, global power would be shared between 4 or 5 major powers: America, Europe, Russia, China,